Horror is the theme in this Golden Age report for March 22 to March 28, 2021. This report begins with a pair of issues from the EC Comics title, The Haunt of Fear, with Haunt of Fear number 15 being the first featured comic. This issue was actually the first issue of the Haunt of Fear title, as it was previously a Western-themed book titled Gunslinger, and before that a comedic book called Fat and Slat. The colorist for the stories in this issue of Haunt of Fear was Marie Severin. She made a name for herself at EC Comics before moving on to work for Marvel Comics, where she worked on some of the key Silver Age issues produced by Marvel. An ungraded copy of Haunt of Fear number 15 sold in an eBay auction this past week. The book, which is not an easy book to find, sold for $1,530. The next of the Haunt of Fear issues is Haunt of Fear number 16, released in 1950. The cover artwork was drawn by Johnny Craig, who was the artist for many of the memorable horror covers created for EC Comics horror books. This issue of The Haunt of Fear featured the first appearance of the story hostess, the Old Witch. Although solo in this issue, the Old Witch along with the Crypt Keeper and the Vault Keeper were the three story hosts for the various horror titles produced by EC Comics. Once again, it was an ungraded copy of Haunt of Fear number 16 that sold in an eBay auction. The comic book produced a sale of $1,450. The last of the featured horror books comes from Feral Publications. The book is Fantastic Fears number 5, which was published in 1954, towards the end of the Golden Age. The significance of this issue of Fantastic Fears is that the book contained a story that featured the first comic book artwork drawn by Steve Ditko. Of course, Ditko famously went on to co-create Spider-Man for Marvel Comics. The copy of Fantastic Fears number 5 that sold at eBay featured a 4.5 universal grade from CGC. Just 3 copies of this book have received that grade according to the CGC census, with only 27 copies overall receiving any type of grade from CGC. The book sold for $2,026.